Hey everyone, this is Laurie, and I am here with The Art of Awareness. And today I have Katey Romence from Romence Gardens over on Lakeside near Michigan and Fulton, and one of my favorite places to go. And so, Katey, I really want to welcome you.
Thank you.
I want to hear a bit more. I brought you the traditional podcast gift. These are the first flowers from my garden.
Look at how stunning these are. The tulips are stunning.
No, I've got some tulips, some daffs, some hyacinth.
Oh my gosh.
Something
and
else.
This glass. Do I get to keep the glass
Yeah,
too?
you get, because one of my secrets is I go to like Goodwill and secondhand shops and I grab a bunch of glasses and vases.
Like little hydrangeas. They're so cute.
I'm like super ADHD, so I love spring and summer because I always forget hostess gifts and general like social norms.
This is so
I think that
cool.
one's deformed, but it's really
I don't care.
coolly
I like
deformed, isn't it?
I'm deformed.
It's like so cool in its deformity.
I love it. We're putting the deformed one up front because I feel like it fits.
Deformed flower, we love you.
It's
so
perfect.
funky and cool. So
it is.
This is one of the reasons I love gardening because I do not plan ahead for hostess gifts, and all summer long I get hostess and birthday gifts.
I love it.
But if people don't appreciate them, they don't get them again.
Well, I appreciate it, but you don't have to get me another one.
Oh my God. I'll just like stop by the shop all the time and I'll be like, here's more flowers.
Well, do you know what's so funny about that is literally nobody ever gives me flowers. And I yell at my friends sometimes because I'm like, you do realize that I would love it if somebody would bring me flowers. So you've just made my day.
It's like nobody cooking for a chef.
Probably.
We've had a lot of cooking people on. So I'm kind of excited you're here because I do love gardening. I'm not an expert, but I definitely can't cook.
You are good though. I know you. When you come in, you always have really fun ideas.
I'm very new to it.
Yeah, but you're creative.
It was only moving. So we moved from California to Michigan. And my husband grew everything in California. We had vegetables, we had fruit, we had trees, we had flowers, dogwoods.
What part of California?
We were in Northern California,
So
Los
you had
Gatos.
some colder temperatures then.
Silicon Valley. So, yeah.
So you could do a lot of different plants then.
Oh, it was endless. And then we got to Michigan, and I was like, well, what would you like? And I will gift you. He's like, I don't want a garden. Like, full stop. He's like, Michigan's too short.
I'm done.
Yeah. And it was the moment I was stuck at home during COVID and I had cancer, and I had an aunt who sent me my Aunt Katey, shout out. She sent me a couple of tubers for dahlias.
Oh, fun.
And I couldn't go out much. I couldn't do much. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so fun to put things in the ground. They turned out beautifully. I'm a dahlia addict. Clearly, I love my bulbs. And as you know, I'm always coming in and asking questions.
Have you ever been to one of those dahlia farms?
I have.
Oh my gosh, they're
I
stunning.
was part of the West Michigan Dahlia Society for a
Lord,
hot minute until I realized I wasn't quite serious enough.
Well, yeah, some
and
of the
it
societies
conflicted with another like charity meeting I have on the same day.
Yeah.
But
most of the society members are like amazing, salt of the earth, beautiful people, but some of them are very, very serious. I mean, you know, they'll chop your hand off if you mess with their
And I thought I
dahlia
could get into it because my Scottish grandfather was a prize winning.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about my love of flowers, as it turns out. They have reminded me that podcasts are about my guests. Oh. And you've been such an inspiration.
Oh, you're
in
so
terms
sweet.
of me learning, getting into gardening.
Oh, that's
I wore
so
my
nice.
special gardening shirt.
I know. I was commenting about that
Gardening,
earlier.
because murder is wrong.
I think I might
And
need,
I'd like to
one of
remind
those.
our viewers of that.
Yeah. I need something like that gardening because retail is tough.
Retail is tough.
I think I need
Murder
gardening
is
because
wrong.
retail is
Gardening
tough.
is good.
Yeah.
I'm going to take off my jacket.
You know,
So
it's really
tell
fun
me a
because
bit
I
about
remember
you.
the first time you came in the greenhouse too, your energy has always been out of this world and has always been wonderful because I remember one of the first times you introduced yourself to me, and I think if I remember correctly, I had just had kind of a bad day. And you came in and you were just like, I love this, I love this, I love this. And I was like, I think I love you. So yeah, thank you for always being such a good spirit when you come in. It's just so nice to have people that love
It's been such
plants.
a comfortable space, not knowing what I'm doing, having lots of questions.
That's so
and
great.
you know me, I like to do things on a budget. I like to have things come back. I don't always do it right.
Yeah.
But it's been really fun.
That's the fun, though. That's the fun of it. I think people who take gardening a little too seriously probably are missing some of the joy because it's a living thing. Okay? People forget that it's a living thing. You know, it's not
But
something you're
it's
plucking
less
off the
serious
shelf.
than a child or a pet.
True.
Like the old joke, raise a plant, then a pet.
Yes,
then
if you have a plant for 2 years, then you can have a kid. Is that how it goes? Well, I've had plants for multiple years, and I don't have any children, so I don't know what that says about me. But
maybe not.
I think I wasn't destined.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No,
plants
I love it, but
plants are quiet.
yeah,
Children are not.
Oh, true. I do love the dogs, though, so there you
Yeah.
go. But no, I think it's really great because that's the one thing I love about my job too is I get the best of both worlds because of all the plants and all the passion for plants that I learned from my family, my dad and my grandfather. But then also I get to meet so many cool people being that we're a retail greenhouse. So that's super awesome.
Romance, and I want everyone to know it is not romance. It is romance.
I don't care how you say it as long as you come and visit us.
I feel like it's French in some way, but that's
as weird as it is. It's Dutch.
Oh, it's Dutch.
It is, but
how would we say that in Dutch?
Well, in Dutch there was like a couple J's and a lot of vowels, and when they came over, they changed it. I think they simplified it.
How my Polish family went from Husky to Webster.
Something like that, yeah. We had a family member come in one time, and they were like, "Oh yeah, there used to be way more vowels in your name," and I'm like, well, "I'm glad there isn't." So yeah.
So Romance Gardens is a third generation family business.
Yeah. So my brother Chris and I have taken it over from my dad, but my grandfather started it in the 1930s. And then he passed it on to my dad, and my mom was super involved. She did a lot with like HR and did all the advertising and things like that. And then I moved back from Chicago after college and didn't really think this is what I was going to do. I moved to Chicago for an internship thinking I was going to be, I kind of wanted to be like a Diane Sawyer, but I have more of a face for radio. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can't do that.
I don't know.
So then I was
that's
like,
true.
I know.
Look at me on
that's
YouTube.
my joke, but yeah.
Here we all are. I have dry elbows, but they still watch
you have gardening
me on YouTube.
elbows.
I have gardening elbows.
But I realized that I really missed it. I missed the industry. I missed doing it because I'd always worked there, in between school and stuff like that. And when I got back,
what did you miss? Just so I know, like, what is kind of, if you were to core that down into?
Well, weirdly enough, I missed working with my dad. And I think that will come across a lot as we talk. My dad is a big part of who I am. And working with him was huge. And he stays home now more. He doesn't come in the greenhouse very much because he's got some mobility issues, but he's so smart and he's so business savvy. My grandfather was kind of the farmer, and my dad is definitely a great grower, but he was much more business savvy.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yes.
And where do you think you fall on that? Oh my God. You don't have to have an
dead
answer.
airspace.
Yeah, exactly.
I
You're
don't
just
know.
a blend. With each generation, we stand on the former generation's shoulders and we see further, Katey.
Yeah, I do. I think I have a happy medium. I think what I love is, and this is something we did talk about, I have a drive to have a really great retail.
Yeah.
And part of it is both with, my brother and I both talk about this. Like, we can't do everything perfectly. We can't compete with everybody. We try and have the best quality plants, and we try and have the best quality people. And we try and have it so that when people come in, we're not trying to be the cheapest, but we're trying to have the best quality. Like,
which
you know
is
what
so
I mean?
important. I think that's
it's
important.
really, really important to us to have the best thing that we can get.
For any business is where are we going to fit? What are we trying to do?
Yeah.
And I will say, one of the things I've noticed now that I'm addicted to buying plants, and I've moved on from purses and shoes into just collecting many, many plants in my garden. Your team is really young, really fun. It kind of feels like, not to typecast everyone because they're from all different styles and backgrounds, but it feels like a co-op. Like everyone's kind of talking and they tell me what they've done on their balcony in their apartment.
Yeah.
And then other people talk to me about what this client did.
Yeah.
And they're super chatty and social. Like you feel like you're walking into coffee shop, really.
Yeah. And I mean, not to sound like a TED talk, but I mean, I've made so many mistakes over the years, especially early on in management, like not knowing how to train someone because, you know, I was so scared. I got thrown into managing the whole thing. Our manager quit and left, you know, pretty suddenly. And my dad was like, there you go, run it. And I mean, I'm like, what? You know, so
how old were you? No, you're like 52.
No, in my mid-20s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you were all of a sudden you were managing in your 20s.
Yeah. And what would happen to me was really funny is people would come in and they would ask a question and then they would say, well, where's Bill? I want to talk to Bill. That's my dad's name.
Right.
And I would be like, okay, well, he's over there, you know, or I'd have to go get him. And it slowly but surely, you know, I was starting to build that.
There's a lot of humility involved in that.
Yeah.
I think being able to acknowledge inheriting something while proving yourself.
Well, exactly. And then there was so many years where people would come up to me and they'd be like, we didn't know until this year that you actually are a Romence. And I liked that. I didn't actually try and advertise who I was because I was trying to earn my place. And I think that's important too. And what I really love though is up front, even now to this day, we are a team. I will load cars. I will push a broom. I will do whatever. I mean, granted, my old lady back is starting to hate it, but
I did not know you were Katey Romence until I asked you to be on this podcast, and I was like, Katey, I learned so much when I come here. You make me feel comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm like, would you talk about gardening? Because I love gardening and spring in Michigan. Yeah. And then you wrote down, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
I see the name.
Yeah,
so,
I know. It's so funny. And only because...
isn't that a testament to you?
Maybe. I mean, or maybe I'm an idiot and I should have been using my name the whole time.
I don't know. I mean, there's something about just like one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I know. But I think too that that's so cool because, you know, there's so many young people that are into plants now, especially after COVID. And so I do get a lot of really fun people that come in. And we talk about this too, just finding the right people that really have a joy of gardening like you has really made my job super fun. So I love it.
What types of gardeners do you see? Like, do you have sort of like in your head, like this avatar of gardener that we know I'm a chaos gardener. I just throw stuff in my garden, see what happens next year, pull stuff out, let it run. Yeah.
I think that there are a lot of different types of gardeners. And I think what's really funny, though, is so we ship our plants now. About 10 years ago, we started, we realized we were growing way more than what we needed and that we could get out the front door.
And I totally saw that. Yeah. So online, people can order and you will ship to them.
So we ship our plants all across the country, and that has become a big part of our business. So we're running 2 businesses right now, and that has become a really big part of who we are. And it's also, you know, saving our bacon, especially when COVID happened. That was a really great saving because it helped us. You know, when people weren't leaving the house, we were able to ship things. We were set up. We had our website. We had everything going. We were able to ship everything. So we're still doing that, and that's becoming a huge part of our business. And kudos to my brother, Chris, who really ran with that, and his team. They're amazing. But that being said, it's amazing to me how many people will call and email. And, you know, we even had a woman, and I'm really sorry if she ever listens to this podcast because I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're not very smart. She called and
Rita.
Said she wanted a full refund because she ordered plants and they came in the 4.5-inch pots, you know, if you buy an annual. And the picture online, of course, is the fully mature plant. It didn't look like the picture online.
I see that all the time on reviews. And I'm always like, are you buying a root? Are you buying a seed? Are you buying a starter plant? Yeah.
So I think for me, when I put people into categories, I would say you have this beginner gardener who is just either expecting it to be an Amazon type situation where maybe they're saying, I'm picking something completely finished. It's not living. It's kind of like I'm buying a box of, you know, Kleenex off the wall. And then you have the people, I think, who understand, and they'll pick the most sickly plant and be like, I can save it, you know. And then you have the people who just really want a good value. They know how to plant it. And then you have the people who maybe are from my Dutch heritage who are going to really talk me down and look for every coupon they've ever had. I love all of them, because I think it's a learning experience that I can kind of figure out how I can make it better.
Yeah.
But there are busy days where I would say, I mean, my favorite person to come in the store is the one that tells me, I have a budget, I'm looking to do this, and I don't know what I'm doing, but then also kind of understands that there's 50 other people around you, so you got to give me 5 seconds. But then here you go, and then you got to, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's like the courtesy thing. Like,
I mean,
where did courtesy go? Right?
And
You know
that's
what I mean?
one of the things I've really thought about your business is it's so seasonal.
It's very intense when it
Like
happens.
it is so intense right now in the spring. How you managed to get here, I'm very, very grateful. And then all of a sudden,
rainy.
it's done. Oh, it's raining. Oh, people don't plant when it's
Well,
raining.
when it's going to be cold this week and it's rainy, so I can sneak out. And I have a great team. So thank you to my team. Shout out to Spencer, Lauren, and
Oh
Desiree.
my gosh. I love your team. No matter when I walk in, I don't even look for you, quite frankly. I just go to whomever and say, well, no, I mean,
kidding,
not
I'm
because
kidding.
I don't love you.
No, I love that. I love that.
But it's like anytime I walk in, I'm like, I have this one spot, or I have decided I'm going to do all my containers in perennials.
Yeah.
And I will plant them once and they will come back. And I love how your team is so realistic with me, so honest. But yet they're always like, you could try this because you're a lazy chaos gardener.
I think that's an interesting thing too, is I have been in Meijer before, and I will walk through the garden section, and I kind of like my little twitch starts, and I go, Katie, you don't work here. You don't work here. You don't work here.
Oh, you
And
have
I
to
will
walk
watch-
in everywhere and be like,
and I will
I
watch,
wish I did this.
and I will watch somebody give advice, and I go, oh no, you know, it's like, you know, plant this here or somebody, and they won't know something. And no offense again to them. It's like just randomly
It's
this
totally
happens.
different. I mean, it's a huge change.
Exactly. And I'll kind of laugh because I'm like, you know, they'll just tell them what they think they want to hear. And that's not what I want to do either. I mean, I will honestly tell you.
Oh, you have told me, no.
That's not going to work.
Walk away from that
Yeah.
plant. You may love that plant. You
That
will kill that
That is going
plant.
to be your worst nightmare, because I know you, or I know this person. You know, I have
Right.
a good friend, and every time she comes in, she goes, okay, it's time for my plant by number. And what we do is she tells me the colors she wants to do,
Yeah.
and I make a little map, and we call it her plant by number. And I map it out, and I do, you know, here you need 4 Ys, 3 Ts,
Yeah.
and we make a little map, and she plants it. And that's all she needs.
Yeah.
And because for her, it is so stressful for that kind of creativity. She is so good at so many things, but at the end of her day, when she comes in the greenhouse, she is so overwhelmed. It's
Yep.
just not her. It's not
That's
her gig.
my mom.
It's
My
not her
mom
gig.
is pink begonias. She wants them to thrive.
Yep.
And
my grandfather, wax begonias, my
Really?
grandfather's favorite plant, because
Really?
he said they'll grow anywhere. Nobody can
Okay.
kill them. And so when I have people go, I just want to put something in for color.
Wax begonias,
Wax
people.
begonias, people. Pink, red,
Yeah.
white, easy peasy, sunshade. You know, if you forget to water them, they don't hate you. I mean,
Right.
they're not necessarily the most glamorous plant in the world, but
no, but they give you salad color. And my mother,
they're like the genes of the garden.
So speaking about how I'm taking over my producer Kristie's yard because I've run
I
out
love
of
it. And
space.
we're going to call it the KT, the Kristie Takeover.
The Kristie Takeover, the KT. Boop, boop. I tried to do that in my mom's house.
She said, no way.
Oh, yeah, no, that
She's
did
like,
not.
way-
She
no.
was like, way too much color, way too many things happening.
Yeah.
I want purple irises and they go to my pink begonias.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I found this really cool new plant. And so there are really different,
Yeah.
my mother being one of them.
Yes.
My mother and I are hugely different and we get along.
My
good.
mother was a chaos gardener and an amazing gardener. She is still living, but unfortunately has memory issues. But she was the most amazing gardener and so much better than me. My mom enjoyed being out in the garden. I don't enjoy it like she did.
And I think
different. I'm different than that. I love to plant vegetables. I love to plant pots. I love to talk about gardening.
Yeah.
I love to know about gardening. I don't like to weed. I don't like to put mulch down.
my
I mean,
gosh,
let's be
yeah, no.
honest.
I'm not a
so
mulcher.
tired by the end of my day. So, you know, I mean, there are things that we love to do, but you know, I could plant vegetables all day long. But,
Okay, talk
yeah.
to me about vegetables because I think too, a lot of people, when you have like a balcony or a little deck, you're like, I really want something that's pretty that I can
Yep.
eat. I personally have tried tomatoes twice. They are the worst tomatoes my family's ever had.
Flavor-wise or plant-wise?
Flavor-wise.
Flavor-wise, okay.
Yeah, it was so wrong.
Yeah.
But like many things in my life, I just moved on and did something different.
Yeah.
But for people who do want to plant vegetables and do like something cute on a balcony or limited space, what would you recommend? Like, what are some good vegetable tips and tricks?
So a little bit with vegetables, you have to look at variety. So certain varieties of certain vegetables are going to be better in a pot. The other thing is the smaller the pot, the more difficult anything is. Everybody wants to grow things in cute little pots.
Yeah, like
You
those
need
little
more
herb
soil.
gardens you can
Yep,
buy
you
straight
need-
off of West Elm.
Yeah.
Like, here's
Yeah.
your 3, plant your herbs.
Oh
and
my
you'll have
gosh.
fresh
Designers
basil.
are fabulous, but designers always send people in and they'll be like, oh, my designer found the most gorgeous pot for me. And my mind starts going, ugh. But because you need drainage, you need as much soil as possible to be able to take care of things. Soil is your key because the main 3 things a plant needs is sunshine, water, soil to keep it going. And vegetables especially.
This is like science
soil.
101,
I know,
isn't
I know,
it? I'm
I
like,
know,
oh,
I know.
we're in 5th grade biology.
I know. But it's
Probably
so
3rd
true,
grade.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to bake a really great bread and you use flour that's old or, some of your ingredients aren't very good, I mean, your bread's not going to taste as good or it's not going to rise or something's not going to happen. So when people tell me, oh, I want to buy 5 more plants, but I want to get really cheap soil, I'm like, buy 2 plants and get better soil. They're going to grow better. So you got to learn where to cut and where to expand.
This is interesting to me because soil's all over the place, like from the like generic soil to the like, and
but there is a difference.
But if
in
I buy
soil.
good soil, is that going to last me more years than I need to?
It's not about longevity. It's about what's in it.
Once I do a container, I don't want to dump out all the dirt, and I have nowhere to dump it, and then I got to buy more dirt. That just seems backward when I'd like to buy plants.
Yes. So soil is not something you have to dump every year, in my personal opinion. That's another thing about gardening. So I'm going to put opinions out there. And if this thing is open to comments, I'm sure there's going to be some comments that are going to be like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. And that's okay.
This is gardening for laymen.
That's okay.
This is not expert gardener forum or mansions of Grand Rapids gardening practices.
My thing is that, I will have people come in and they can do certain things and I'm always amazed. And I'm like, I do not know how you got that to be a perennial. That doesn't make sense to me. So, things happen that people do and it doesn't make sense. When it comes to soil, you can compare soils and you have an apple and you have an orange. Potting soil, especially when you're doing soil in containers, there is a huge difference in soils.
Oh, really?
Yes. Huge in my opinion. People make cruddy soil. Miracle Grow makes cruddy soil. They can sue me. I don't care. I hate Miracle Grow potting soil. I think it's the worst.
People.
Yeah, bring it on, buddies.
They're not a sponsor.
Okay.
Yet.
They're not going to sponsor
but
me
I don't
ever
think they
either.
ever will be now.
But now they have some other great products.
Right.
Some other great products.
Right.
But again, soil is so important to me because again, it's that base. It's how you're starting everything. But again, plants are too. But also, when you're working in the ground, you're using a completely different soil than you're going to use in a container. When you're planting in the ground, there's a million places for the water to go. There's tons of other things coming into play when you're working with soil in the ground.
Yeah.
In a container, it's a one shot, baby. Everything's in that pot. The water can only get in from the top or you're getting it, and the drainage only has one exit. So potting soil is a very, very, very important thing. What you're planting in there will make kind of a difference. Are you putting a lot of things that you want to root really fast, like annuals? Are you doing something like a perennial or a shrub or a tree that maybe you want a little higher density or more nutrients or more richness? Are you doing a vegetable that maybe you don't care if it has a little scent to it?
So stinking complicated because this is why
that's why you come to Romance Gardens.
That's why,
and you ask me.
because it is your team when I'm like, okay, I have this problem. I'm doing this. What do I do?
Yeah.
Okay. But just to back it up a little bit. Now, I have some balcony pots that it is a hassle to get stuff up there. You know that there's this like cocoa expanding stuff or monkey. There's
probably
stuff
like a
with
coconut
like
core.
bat poo in it.
Oh, yeah.
You know that stuff too? Like, but it's lighter for me to carry. Is that stuff worth it?
So I have not really used that. There's like a Fox Farm brand that I think has a lot of the bat guano and stuff like that.
It's bat poop, right?
Yeah, I think
there's bat poop in
the
those.
fancy name is guano.
Oh, sorry, guano. Guano is what we call bat poop now.
And I mean, I like seriously when I heard about that, I mean, I look into it. I mean, there's worm composting, there's all those different things. All of that is basically a type of organic material that will add nutrients to your soil. Okay. So what you choose to use, I would say do your research and choose what you want. For lightness, remember that you lightening the soil and what you're at, everything I would add to the soil, I would want it to have a reason. So too much lightening, I'm
like
adding
if I'm
it for
carrying
drainage.
Upstairs, right?
Yeah.
My arm's probably jiggling. But if
Teach
I'm
your arm.
carrying stuff upstairs, I'm like...
But see, my whole thing is that you wouldn't. Yes, it's lighter and it's easier for you, but our bag of potting soil is probably the same.
Use
weight.
it as a strength training session. Carry your 40 pounds up the stairs. Is what you're telling me.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that choose wisely, because if you did all of the coconut core, for instance, there's absolutely no value to that.
Oh.
You use a portion of that. Like sometimes it's 2/3 of this to 1/3 of this.
Okay.
So for instance, that coconut core usually is only 1/3 of what you're putting in that pot. So if you did a lot more of that, not only did you just give your plants nothing, it's probably going to settle or expand or hold water in different ways. So you might find that one side of your pot grows bigger because it's got more water retention, and the other side's going to die out because it doesn't have water retention. So you see what I'm saying? You want an even mix.
Okay.
So by buying bags that are pre-mixed, it's doing it for you, which is kind of handy.
Yeah.
And a lot of
you
times...
You just got to get it up the stairs, and then you're not...
What you're doing
stuff.
for potting soil shouldn't be super, super heavy, because you shouldn't be doing a lot of topsoils and heavy soils that are going in your pots anyway. Oh. So what I'm saying is if you lift a bag of our potting soil, it should be about the same weight as most of those light soils you're talking about. So my question would be, you should be able to find something that's not too awful. Now, another thing you can do is if your pots are really big... One thing, this is my cheater.
Can I put in, I think I know what you're saying.
Well,
it's going to be the empty plastic bottles and stuff.
That's the thing that I would prefer to do, because a lot of people talk about doing like bark and different things like that. But a lot of that stuff can start to smell, in my opinion, and break down and mold. What I like is things where roots and soil can go in between so that roots can go down. But personally, I like to do all soil. And then every year I just blend up the bottom. I break up the roots because that's natural material.
If we
and just
don't have that
top.
much money, and I have a giant pot, like I'm going to put in front of Kristie's house, and I can't afford all the soil, what would I put in there to kind of fill some spots, give me some room?
My first choice is you fill it once, and then you just top the top third. You replace the top little bit.
So you're not
every year.
recommending I put like milk jugs
My
in there?
second choice would be you can kind of put a few different plastic things in the bottom, and then as much soil as you can afford.
In the very bottom.
So in the very bottom, you could put some of that plastic stuff, because what I want is soil to fall in the cracks, and I want the roots to be able to grow down in the cracks. But what I don't want is a bunch of styrofoam peanuts or something nasty that's just going to break down and get grody.
So, Katey, this is called The Art of Awareness for a reason.
Okay.
And we're trying to help others understand, what are you more aware about right now? Or what do you wish others were more aware about? You're in your busy season.
Yes. Gearing up. Well, first of all, what a great name for a podcast. I mean, Art of Awareness. And it's true. I think we all are going through life a little unaware of what's happening around us, or maybe sometimes uber aware of things that are outside of what we can control. Maybe, right? So for me, I work in a retail world. And I think it's really important, and I would love people to be aware of this. I hire people from all over, and they have all different things happening to them every day. And yet they come to work and they put a smile on their face, and they do the best they can every day. And I do the best that I can every day. And I would say that my wish for people to be more aware is look at the people around you. They're trying hard. They're trying to do their best. Our family, really gives up a lot to do what we do. And of course, we're doing this because we love it. We're doing it because it's important to us. It's our legacy. My grandfather started it in the 30s, and this has been going on for a long time. But I wish more people were aware that it's important to treat people correctly. Be aware. I know you have a bad day. I have a bad day. But it's very important that we are more aware of what's going on around us and that we show care and respect for people. I think even more today than it even has been in the past.
And I think retail is interesting, as is food and beverage, and a lot of sort of like interactions where there's so much happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine with you what is happening, to get things where they are.
Yeah. So I think that is something that's a good point, because I think that's another thing that people don't really realize about the garden center and greenhouse industry is, first of all, Romence Gardens is the grower. So a lot of places around town, they buy everything in. And we do buy some things in.
Right.
Our houseplants, for instance, we don't grow tropical plants. So we bring our houseplants in from
they
Florida.
come in
and
as
they
full-
come in finished. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't have the space or the capacity or the growing conditions to bring in a palm. You know what I mean? I can't bring
A
that.
lot of labor to grow a palm,
right.
I would imagine.
Well, and in Florida, they can yeah. That'd be coconuts. So really,
I want that in my living room. Can you get me a palm tree with coconuts, Katie?
I can, and it will last you all of like 3 weeks. No, but I think that's really, really important, is that, we're not just, bringing things in finished and pulling it off of a shelf. And we kind of have hit on this a little bit, but, we're starting things from plugs. We're starting things from roots. We're starting things from seed. Yeah. So we have a schedule. We have a process, a calendar, a list of what we do. And yes, the weather warmed up early this year, or yes, the weather is cold this year. We're on the same schedule regardless, because we have to have everything finished at a certain time. So when you walk in and say, well, Katie, it's 60 degrees out now, I would like to plant a tomato. And I'm like, I know you would, but I'm timing it for the regular time.
One more snowstorm. No, I don't want to predict that.
Yeah.
Dear
Well,
Lord,
like
it
Sunday,
has been a crazy winter, but it is. It's like, don't put that in the ground until.
Well, and depending on when
safe.
people are listening or seeing this, will be a different time. But for instance, a few days from now, it's going to be 28 degrees. 28 degrees is not that abnormal for this time of year.
Late, mid-April.
But everyone has it in their heart because they want it to be warm, that it's time to go, go, go. And that's okay. I'm here to be the voice of reason, to tell you that it's too early. But if you want to,
wait, don't do that. Don't.
But I also think what's fun about it is it's the one time I get to be the villain, which is kind of fun. I get to be like, well, if you want to, I'll go for it, but I wouldn't do it. No, I would never do that. But
no,
it is that's my job, to tell you that this is what's suggested in Michigan. A really fun thing is my grandfather used to always say that you do not plant your annuals until the last full moon of May. So that changes. And if you look at the Farmer's Almanac, they're 99% of the time right. It's some obscene.
I once spent a night in New York City. I was so excited. I thought we would do something fun.
Yeah.
They quizzed each other out of the Farmer's Almanac, and they were like,
okay, I probably would be the only
and then there
person
were like
that would have had fun with that.
Stats. Oh. And it was like, I was 23. I thought we'd go to a club, a fabulous restaurant, something amazing in New York City.
Oh, no.
And instead, it was Mark and Charlie quizzing each other.
Well, if you've never seen the Farmer's Almanac, though, it does predict a lot of different things for each of those years. And it will tell you what it thinks the spring and the winter are going to be. Yeah.
Okay. So side thought here. Is there science behind the Farmer's Almanac?
I think
there is history,
yes,
which is a historical record is how we form science.
Correct. And
in a way.
Like cycles, like secular type things, like the rising and fall of the lake levels. They follow kind of a cycle. Like people I know have freaked out that they're low or high, but it seems like it follows a cycle.
That I have multiple things underwater in my backyard now.
Well, I think right now this is crazy because we've gotten so much rain with cold ground, so the ground cannot absorb. So this happens a lot. I mean, it's happened multiple times for me. My backyard looks like a lake, but this year for me was the weirdest. I have a picture of my dog swimming off the deck, and he's like thinking it's the best thing ever.
Swam off the deck.
My dog swam off the deck, and he's looking at me like, dude, this is
what
cool.
kind of dog?
My Bodie is an English cream golden retriever, and then I used to have my adopted dog Oliver, but he passed away.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. I know it's hard. I know everybody who's gone through it couldn't understand. It's the worst thing that happens to you, but
it really is.
Not the worst thing, but worse for me.
No, but I think people underrate losing a pet.
Yeah.
And there's a huge grief process.
Yeah.
And
well, they're in your heart, and they can't tell you their pain.
We have baby Bella, and I watch Bella as she's graying, and I'm just like,
you just take every day. I think it's with people too. I mean, I think the hardest thing for me this last year, and I'm going to open up a little bit, which my friends will tell you I do not do. My mom is I'm a daddy's girl. I've always been a daddy's girl, as I said earlier in the interview. But my mom was recently, I recently had to move her into a memory care. And anybody who has done this will tell you it is the hardest thing in the world. But I'll tell you what, the time we spend together now is so amazing. So, I mean, good comes with bad and bad comes with good. And
it does.
I look at the things that we do, and I look at her garden, and her garden is my favorite thing. So knowing that I have her garden as my memory will be, and her plants, like I have some of her, like her Christmas cactus and stuff. And gosh, I'm crying on YouTube.
I'm like ready to cry right now,
but,
because
having her plants and having her things it's the most important part. And it makes me want to do my job better, and it makes me want to make her and my dad super proud. So I'm so honored to be on this podcast because I get to share the art of my family and who they are. So sorry.
I love that to pieces. I'm going to start crying now as I talk about how I got into gardening and like,
well, hey, 53, menopause, here we go.
I wanted to grow a couple of dahlias, and now I'm a regular.
I know, and now you
I'm
get to be
learning stuff, and I love it. I mean, and I think it's a hobby I wish I found earlier.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
so much
so
of our life, I feel, is spent hustling.
Yeah.
More of our life needs to be spent growing things.
Yep, it does.
Not growing tumors.
And let's focus on why did we start growing things originally, right? For food, for safety, to know what we put in our body.
Yes.
And especially like being a cancer survivor.
Yep.
Like how important is it to you?
You know exactly.
So let me hit on one last thing because I was thinking about this. One thing that's been happening for us, for my brother and I, is, we finally have taken the reins, so to speak, and we're like, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
How do we want to make this our own? And my parents started by having us be environmentally certified.
Yes.
And that was a big, huge step. So we recycle water. We're basically environmentally certified by the state. But we recycle water, and we do a lot of other things, which turns out I can't remember right now. But
necessary, but it's actually hugely important in this industry. It is very important
to us. We've started this year using some different eco pots, which, plastic is part of the greenhouse industry. So we have to come up with ways to sort of combat this way that we affect the ecosystem. How can we then counteract it?
And by plastic pots, just to clarify, you mean the actual pots where I'm coming home with all these things.
Yeah.
So if we could make them more eco-friendly.
Yeah. The issue comes when you're growing something is that they break down on the table. So for us using things that break down, like our hanging baskets are all in fiber pots a lot. And we do that for the very reason that they'll break down in a landfill very quickly. We do have a lot of people who still request the plastic pots. So we do still grow some of those. So we've done a lot of those things, but this year too, we've launched our beneficial insect program. So we are now using much less chemicals.
Hang on.
I know.
You have
nailing it.
Romence Gardens has a beneficial insect.
So what's happening is
what is that?
So basically what happens is we get boxes of bugs. So we have actual microscopic insects. And this is not my area of expertise. So I'm going to say that out right now. Shout out to Brad. and my brother Chris, who are handling this whole program. But you may come home with something from the greenhouse with a little bag in it, and it'll say BioLine. There's not going to be anything in that would get in your house or anything will happen because they've already been released, but the bag will still be there. So what happens is things will go in and these little microscopic bugs come out, and those insects and these micro things basically eat larvae and other nasty insects. So this helps us not have to
good
spread.
bugs.
They're good bugs that are going to basically attack bad bugs. Will we always
It's like a bug war. It's like staging a bug war on my tomato plant or whatever. This is insane.
we have never used chemicals.
This is so cool.
I know.
I feel like I'm in a Pixar movie.
I know. We have never used chemicals on any of our herbs or vegetables, but because our facility isn't organic, we can't call them organic. But we have never used any fertilizers or chemicals.
And your
on those,
facility
but-
is not organic because you have so many plants.
Well,
that
we grow
all
poinsettias,
want
and those need
different-
chemicals. And
yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah, yeah.
So, but the main goal is what we're trying to do is slowly put ourselves in a position where we can be who we want to be, which is, again, obviously we don't want to use chemicals.
Katie Romence leading a bug war. I love it.
We're not new to
It's
this
so
game.
cool.
We're not the new people to this game. I mean, this game has been happening.
Oh my God,
it's
I'm
just,
such a geek.
We're such an old facility. It's hard to do.
You're never going to
Yeah.
lose me. I'm just going to start showing up and being like, show me more about the
we're
bug
the
war.
little buggies.
Show me the good
We're the little
bugs. Show me
buggies.
the bad
Yeah,
bugs.
yeah.
Like which
Well,
bug?
and now here's the
Do
deal.
they have team colors?
They're microscopic. You can't see them. But
Like,
yes,
do they have
the
jerseys?
good ones wear blue.
like U of M. Go blue.
Yep.
No,
Just like that.
I'm so impressed by the thoughtfulness behind your business. I hadn't thought much about it because I really did think I just show up and I buy some petunias, buy some random plants to put in Laurie's chaos garden. I really did think I was like, Katie, what's going to grow here? I've learned a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I've
I'm
learned
so
a
happy.
lot about your process of owning a business, inheriting a business.
Well, and if anybody ever wants to stop by, and I mean, I know half the time we're super crazy, but there are times when let me know if we're not super busy. I'm always happy to show people they can pop their heads in a couple places, and
and your
every once in a
team's
while
so
do tours.
fun. I always feel like I'm back in Ann Arbor in 1996 at a co-op. Like they are just a group of really cool, interesting young people.
And we have a lot of new people this year working retail, and a friend of mine called me and she said, okay, are you going to make it? Or, how do you feel? Because this is go time for me. This is like April is when it's like, okay, oh my gosh, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? And I was like, you know what? It's going to be okay. We're always going to be okay because I know we will be. I just know in my heart that we really love it. So we will.
There's something really clear about having that goal, having that perspective of here's where I fit, here's where I don't negotiate.
Yep.
That does keep things on track. And I think at our age, it's kind of true because here we are.
Yes. And 50 was big because 50, all of a sudden I was like, I mean, 50, and I'm not going to swear, but like 50, I don't give a, you know what I mean? Like that's what happens.
We can swear
too.
because I think Megan can bleep it out for us.
Well, I'm not a big, I'm not going to, but I really do. Go for it.
50 is.
I think that's the whole point is it's like now I care for the people.
Yeah.
I think more than I care for myself a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's happening more. And that might be the fact that it's like the mother coming out in me that never did or something. I don't know. But
I want to thank you so much, Katie, for being here today. This has been amazing.
I loved it. Thank you so much.
It is so much fun to talk about spring and flowers and what comes ahead because we all know we live in Michigan and there's still another month where we could be slammed with an ice storm, a torrential flood, Lord knows. But that's not going to happen because y'all are going to be planting your flowers, thinking about your containers. And I want to thank you for watching. Huge thanks to everyone for watching. Please, 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 it matters a ton. Like us, follow us on YouTube, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I love saying that. And you can go on to theartofawareness.org and you can learn more about our events. You can find out more about what we're doing. You can also donate and sponsor us. And I hope you all get out in the garden. Even if you have the tiniest little thing right in your window, we can all plant and grow something. And let's together grow connections. Cheers.